And
red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow
red
leather.
leather, yellow leather.
My mother's name's not Heather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Ooh.
Red leather, yellow leather.
What the? What just happened?
Oh, all right.
Hey, Biggie K.
Oh, hey.
That's short for Big Kahuna.
Hey, Josh.
How you doing, man?
So good.
You
So
look
good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Now that you're here. I was real lonely before. But you're here now to record another episode of Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs. This is the third one.
Is it?
It's the third
number
one.
3 already.
Yeah, it's the third one in the triac.
Well, we've done about 25 episodes, but 3 that we've kept.
Yeah, 3 that we've kept. So, you know.
Oh, boy.
It's a hard knock life for us.
We've done a lot of talking and not a lot of keeping.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's been hard, but this is the third episode, like I said. It's going to be a good one.
I have a good feeling about this episode.
Yeah, we've had a bit of feedback from people that have told us that they don't really understand what we're saying most of the time.
Hated most of the first 2 episodes.
And that's okay, because we're here for constructive criticism and ways to make it better. But I think we need to define what we're talking about to people so that they understand. It makes sense in my head, but I have to take into consideration other people and, you know, the fact that they may not understand the terminology that we use sometimes, Big Kahuna, and that's my fault. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today, and we've got an interesting one for Breed of the Week.
Oh.
I'm excited. You don't know what it is, but I do. It's exciting me in my bones.
I know what it is, actually, but I'm not going to say it.
Anyways, This is episode 3 of Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Get ready for that intro tune. Hang on.
I love this one.
You love it?
Yeah.
Do you actually love it?
I do.
Well, here it is.
Oh.
Another change up. Yet again.
What are they going to do next time?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
This is like that 1950s, like...
silent movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch them as they board the boats on the way to Japan. Go and get them, chaps. You tell him, Timothy. In the jungles of Ikanagua. Found a recipe.
Oh.
Anyways, enjoy, everyone. All right.
Oh, that's so good, isn't it?
I actually really like that little tune.
If you ever wondered what we liked as far as music goes, it's everything and anything.
Yeah. I can just imagine like little Joey like tap dancing to that song. And it makes me infinitely happy. Like just him like jigging about like with a little sailor's hat on, like taking it off.
And,
like
and Scoobs?
Yeah.
Imagine Scoobs.
Trying to keep up, and then Joe just like, keep up, idiot. And Scoobs like tripping over his shoe, like falls onto the band. And then somehow the stage gets set fire.
Scooby would fall on the band, wouldn't he? Oh, silly boy, Scoobs.
Come on, Scoobs. Keep up. I know you're young and everything, but tap dance better. The Diary of Joe. We should actually do like Joe's Diary.
Joe's Diary.
I've actually found it a few times when he hasn't hit it properly, and there's some really, really interesting bloody diary entries in there.
Yeah, well, we'll get Joe. Get Joe on here one time to talk about his diary.
That's how I found out that he smokes cannabis. His diary entries.
He puts it in there.
Yeah, he doesn't know that I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he tells that thing everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk to me.
All right.
Let's just crack straight into it.
We got our silly pants on today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Let's just crack straight into it. Dog Ugly topic of the week coming straight up.
This topic is Dog Ugly.
It's the Dog Ugly topic of the week. Oh, a little change up there.
Oh, sneaky.
Little bit of roles reversed.
Look out, everybody.
I let Steve be the alpha male on that
one. usually I'm the subordinate.
No, you're not. That's not true. Even though
bitch.
I said that, you're not a subordinate bitch. We've been through this.
Okay, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry.
Ooh, I got my giggle pants on.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my big boy pants on. I got my gigglies.
Oh,
Pick them
nice.
up at any Myra or David Jones. Get yourself a pair of gigglies. But our dog ugly topic of the week for this week, we've had a lot of feedback from people that, and this is ignorance on my behalf, not Steve's at all. I've been using terminology thinking that people would understand what I'm talking about, and a lot of people have been like, I don't get it. I don't understand what you're saying. I love dogs. I love everything about dogs. I want to keep listening, but you need to explain what you're talking about a little bit more. And so I thought what we could do, Steve, is just go through a few common things that people might find in discussions about dogs and training dogs and stuff like that.
Things that we might talk about as far as training goes.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
that for further on down the track, when we mention these things, you'll understand what we're talking about, and it'll start to make a bit more sense for you, and we can piece it all together. So I reckon we start off trying to briefly explain the 4 pillars of reinforcement. I reckon it's up to you guys out there that are listening to do a little bit more research on this yourself, so we're not talking about it forever and ever, because you can talk about the 4 pillars of reinforcement.
I was going to say, when I saw that on your little notes thing there, I thought, oh boy, we have 2 hours of episode just talking about the pillars of reinforcement. So
well, we don't. We've only got a certain amount of time to dedicate to it. So we're going to go through positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative reinforcement, and negative punishment. Steve, take it away.
Okay, so starting with positive reinforcement.
Please do start.
This is a tricky subject. It goes against what we kind of think because of the way that it's written. So positive and negative. When we look at things in positive and negative, in regards to dog training, we look at it as like good or bad. Well, in this situation, it's mathematical. So positive, we're adding; negative, we're removing. Reinforcement is the other word that we're looking at, and reinforcement is the making a behavior better or stronger. So if we wanted a dog to sit for us, what are we going to do to make them want to do that?
Yep. And we've had a discussion about this. It can be misconstrued or construed a lot of different ways. Like we had that discussion. Like you've got the food treat reward. It's a piece of chicken. It's a high value treat. So therefore positive reinforcement for the dog. But if it's kibble and somebody is like, oh no, it's still positive reinforcement for the dog, but the dog's like, no, I don't want to do that, then
I don't really want that kibble.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like somebody's like, that's positive reinforcement because you're giving it a thing. Well,
it's not. You've given it a reward, what you perceive to be a reward, but it's not giving it.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland going down that rabbit.
Yes,
that rabbit hole. So we're not doing that. We're just going to explain basically what we mean by it. We'll talk about the science of it when we hopefully get a guest on later on down the track. But yeah, so positive reinforcement.
So when we say positive reinforcement, we mean that we've given the dog something that they want at that time in order to make the behavior that we want better. So if you want the dog to sit, let's say, as a quick example, we give them a piece of chicken in order, when they do the sit, in order to get them to do it again and make them want to do it again.
Yep.
So that's positive reinforcement.
It's like, do the pokey machine analogy. Like you're at the pokies, like you get, you might get a little win, like whatever the amount is, and it's like ding, 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 like, and then like you get the reward. The reward.
Yep.
So there's the marker of the ding, 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 and then you've got the reward, and it's like, well, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going.
That's right. So you want to continue doing it.
I'm going to keep going.
So that means that that behavior of playing that machine has been reinforced.
Exactly. And for the dog, he's playing the poker machine because he got a little bit of chicken.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So he's thinking, oh, maybe I'll get that chicken again, and I want that chicken, so I'm going to continue to do it.
God, you're smart.
Oh, well, there you go.
Now let's confuse people and talk about positive punishment.
Oh, let's go to negative reinforcement first.
I like your train of thought. Yeah. Let's go to negative reinforcement.
I think we'll go to negative reinforcement because this is another thing that makes a behavior better. So, and there's a good human example that helps understand that, and that's your seatbelt in your car. So if you get in your car and you go to drive and you don't put your seatbelt on, there's a beep, an annoying sound that happens. It beeps at you, and it's quite annoying. So in order to turn that sound off, we have to put our seatbelt on.
Yep.
Now, that is making that us putting our seatbelt on happen more often because so it's reinforcing the behavior of putting your seatbelt on,
yep.
which means we're removing something that we don't want something which is the dinging, the super annoying ding, and that's only being removed when we do the behavior that the car wants us to do, essentially.
Yep.
And so that's an example of negative reinforcement, removing something of value, not of value, removing something that's not wanted in order to make a behavior better.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so those are the two ways to make a behavior better. Okay, those are the two scientific ways of making a behavior better. Now we're going to talk about ways of making a behavior less, and that's where the word punishment comes in.
Yep.
So there's positive punishment, which is adding something that's not desirable in order to make a behavior less. So that would be like when you're driving in your car and you go too fast and you get a speeding ticket.
Yeah,
so
that's definitely positive punishment.
Positive punishment. We've given you a speeding ticket for
doing the wrong thing.
Doing the wrong thing.
Learn by it, or you're going to get harsher penalties.
Yes.
More positive punishment.
That's right.
You choose.
And there's just so much we can go into.
But we're keeping it simple.
Yep.
Because I've identified, I'm one of the people that argues that, negative punishment, the taking away of, certain things strengthens the behavior because the dog learns from.
So negative punishment is, this is an example of, we can use another human example. If you drink driving,
and
they take your car.
Yeah, they take your car.
That's negative punishment.
Yeah.
So you want your car.
Yeah, I
right?
want my car.
Yeah, so negative punishment versus negative reinforcement. So when they take away something you want, that's negative punishment. When they take away something you don't want, that's negative reinforcement.
And all of these things apply to human psychology, any mammal psychology. This is all stuff like kids. Kids acting up, take away his PlayStation.
Yes.
It's even though I was naughty and I still want to I need to change my behavior in order to get the PlayStation back.
That's right. So that's that negative punishment where I'm going to take your PlayStation away if you don't change your behavior.
Yeah. And I was a rat bag at school, in high school.
You were. I can just see it.
Yeah. And if mum and dad had have been but they didn't because they loved me and they wanted me to have fun. But if they had been you're not going to football, things would have changed dramatically.
Yes, yeah.
So we've covered off on positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative reinforcement, and negative punishment in the simplest terms that we can, so as not to break the bank time-wise. And I promise you guys that we may have made things more confusing there, but that. All right, let's try and think of simple examples for people. So positive reinforcement. Steve, you've done a real good job. I hand you a bag of Skittles.
Oh, I want to do that behavior again. Thanks, Josh.
You will lick my toes then. Okay. Positive punishment. Steve, you will lick my toes and the taste will be really shit.
I don't want to do that again, Josh.
Positive punishment. But now you're in conflict because you want the Skittles. Okay, let's do a different example. Steve's cooking and he knows that he should put oven mitts on to get the stuff out of the oven, but he doesn't and he burns his hand.
Oh, silly Steve.
Shazwazzers.
Yeah.
Silly Steve. That's positive punishment.
Positive punishment.
And there'll be people out there that'll be like, no, it's not. That's positive reinforcement because I love pain. Well, to them, I say you're a fucking weirdo. I'll take the 50%. 50 cents. Negative reinforcement. Steve really enjoys going to Zumba, but he didn't get me milk on the way home, so I'm not going to drive him to Zumba.
What?
Yeah. I told you to get milk. Even though you don't live here and it's not your responsibility to get me milk. So, for not getting me milk, to help with my calcium, I'm not taking you to Zumba and you can't get that because you...
Next time I'll get you the milk then.
Yeah.
Because
you want to go to Zumba,
I really want to go to Zumba.
And...
Why would you take...
Sorry, that was negative punishment, everyone.
That's right.
Yes, sorry, Steve. I said negative reinforcement. I meant negative punishment. This example of negative reinforcement. Steve, give me one. What do you got for me?
Here's my example. Okay, so I've been really wanting Josh to pat me on the head.
but I don't want to.
But Josh doesn't want to pat me on the head, little dirty old bird. So what I do to Josh is I pinch him and I say, "You're gonna pat me on the head until."
This isn't a weird like sex dungeon either, where like Steve's licking my toes. Ow! Stop pinching me. I'll pat you on the head.
So once Josh starts patting me on the head, then I'm going to stop pinching him. Now, Josh didn't want me to pinch him because he's not a I'm not
a pinchable guy.
No, he doesn't like it. So when I removed the pinch, he was rewarded by that and decided he wanted to pat my head more and more. So when I ask him to do it now, he just does it to avoid that pinch.
Thanks, Kahuna. So that's it.
It's good for everybody.
You know, if you got any more questions, hit us up on the, write them into Big Kahuna's mailbag, which you can find on the Instagram, Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs Instagram, or the Facebook page. Right in there. Let us know your concerns and queries. Another one, a mate of mine actually, he's like, mate, what is dog aggro and what do you keep talking about? I'm like, well, good question. It's abbreviated for dog aggression.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And dog aggression is, so dog to dog aggression. Okay.
Yeah, so there's different types of aggression. So
exactly. There's different types of aggression. There I go again. Like, just explaining it because I understand it and not explaining it to the people.
Oh, you'll get there, Josh.
I'm going to go and jam my head in the oven.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm going to.
What's that going to do? Is that going to be positive punishment?
No, it's positive reinforcement for me.
Yeah. No.
I like that so much.
So there's different types of aggression going on in dogs, and some of it is, so fear aggression, a dog that bites or something because they're afraid. Dog aggression, maybe because of fear, but aggression towards dogs, So human aggression towards humans.
Yep.
Dogs can have all sorts of different types, but and we can go into more detail with those things. But
we'll dedicate episodes to them. But I'm just, we're just explaining things that people were like, what are you talking about? But yeah, we'll like talk for a whole, however long, a dog ugly topic on dog aggression and human aggression and stuff like that. We'll do it.
I think we should.
I think we're going to.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough.
It doesn't apply here.
Another one, someone asked me to explain drive. And, let me just open the can of worms.
Silly worms.
Because there's so many people, like, it depends who you talk to in dog training, but, some people will say, there's only prey drive and there's nothing else. And then you talk to another person and they're like, no, there's heaps of different types of drive, but then those people don't understand, like people who say that it's only prey drive don't understand the drives. It's going to change depending on who you talk to. And there's going to be people out there now they're like, these guys don't know what they're talking about.
Well, there's
what you're talking about.
And then there's the other sort of idea that people have where drive is it changes. So the drive, and I think that's where I'm at. So drive for something in a dog will vary with the time. Like what is going on with that dog at that moment. I wouldn't say that it's a my dog has high prey drive. Well, maybe not if
that is.
Well, maybe not if it just chased down a deer, and killed it, and then it's satiated now.
Yep.
It's tired of doing that, and it doesn't want to do it anymore. So you to say that dog now has high drive, well, not as much as it did before you started.
Yep. Exactly. That's right.
Which is. So it to me it varies, and yes, I think there are lots of different types of drive.
Exactly, but in terms of when you're measuring a dog and you say, does this dog have like pronounced drive, like extreme drive, stuff like that. So prey drive, you can measure it like you throw the tennis ball on the ground, will the dog chase it?
Mm-hmm.
And some dogs, like the dog will have a tennis ball in his mouth. You'll throw another tennis ball. He'll drop that one immediately and chase that other one. Now that's, forgive me because I don't know exactly but it's either pronounced drive or it's extreme.
We got to get Paul on here.
We do. Paul is the guru
of
explaining this stuff.
The drives, the different drives.
He really explains it in such a way that makes it so easy to understand. And, he talks about, the prey drive, there's play drive, hunt drive, fight drive, which a lot of people just call combativeness. But he explains it in such a way that it's like, you know what? How could I see it any other way than that?
And I think what the real basic definition for any of these things is...
that's what we're trying to get out there today. So drive, the
desire, I would say. To do a particular activity. And
oftentimes it's, what's the word, Steve? Like, involuntary.
Yes.
It's an involuntary response to, like, they have to, they must do it. It's the desire to do it. So the drive to, chase that ball, chase that rabbit, chase that, whatever it might be. And we measure it.
Yeah.
Does the dog have heaps of it? That's not the scientific term, but, does the dog, do it? Does it want to do it? Or does it not do it at all? That's what we're talking about. 1 second, everyone. That's the Dell Bell. Sorry about that, everyone. We're back. That was NASA delivering the parts for my spaceship.
Yes, because we're doing dogs in space pretty soon, so...
Actually, that's not true.
Oh.
It was parts for my time machine. I'm building a replica DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah, because we're doing dogs in time.
Dogs in time, yes. We're going back to, like, the medieval eras and seeing if they played those weird mandolins and, little weird guitars and stuff and danced around like court jesters. But, yeah, we were talking about drives. It's so extensive and there's a lot to cover. We're not going to be able to cover... We're not even going to endeavour to cover it all today.
I think that's kind of why we got it. I think this is why we sort of skipped over some of this stuff in the first couple, because there's so much to talk about. Yeah. And it's heavy pretty quickly. Yeah, with science and others,
exactly. Science is a huge part of dogs and dog training, and we'll get there and we'll cover it eventually. But we just want to give you a basic idea of what we're talking about when we say these things. So. Hopefully we've done that. So I guess summarizing drive in dogs is the desire to do a particular thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, motivation
for it. Okay.
We go to work because we're motivated to get money.
Yeah. That's all we really got in terms of feedback from some people. But have you got anything that you might want to clarify? Any thoughts?
I got a lot of thoughts, but nothing relevant.
I love how I gave you this book and you've just got intro. I gave the kahuna a big old book to write stuff in, and he's literally just written intro.
And I didn't even want to write that, but I wanted to make Josh feel good about it.
And then he's like, "Don't worry, I got this." And then put the most extravagant pair of sunnies on ever, and just got out a sawed-off shotgun and pumped around through the roof.
You see,
you're gonna have to fix that, man. I don't know how to do that.
Well,
I don't know how to patch holes in roofs.
I know. Where's the other book?
Because you've got this. I've got it.
Oh,
it's this place is the. I want to say the F word, but I can't. This place is the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way.
Shit goes missing here all the time. Yeah. I reckon Hannah just hides stuff on me.
Oh,
but she hasn't been here, so she couldn't have hidden the book.
Maybe.
It is the Bermuda Triangle. I mock it all the time, and it's coming back to mock me. Anyways, you know what's coming up next. You know what follows the dog ugly topic of the week? What usually follows it?
What does?
Well, let me just put this on and...
I don't know what breed that it could be. Maybe a Whippet or a small Bichon Frise. But if you stick around, you will see. 'Cause it's time for breed of the week. I don't know what breed that it could be. Maybe a Labrador or a BSMG. But if you stick around, you will see. 'Cause it's time for breed of the week.
Woo!
Oh, doesn't it feel good?
It does feel good. Shit, I need that notepad.
Oh, hang on.
Oh man. Actually, is that it up there on the counter?
I'm going to dismount
Stay
here
with
for
me.
a sec. Hold on.
Steve,
Go.
keep read poetry. Keep them entertained.
Oh boy, no. I think a better... Josh is running around the house like he doesn't even have pants on. Oh, God. Can you hear that? That's unstable floors. Oh, man.
And I'm back in record time.
Wow.
Didn't even break a sweat, except for my armpits. You can stay home if you help me shave your armpits. Help me shave my armpits. Anybody who writes in and guesses the correct movie that is from wins themselves a monster truck.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they sold monster trucks.
I know a dealer. Anyways, breed of the week. Are you guys ready for some serious action? And, you know, the past two breeds, what have we done? We've done Nova Scotia Duck Tolly Retriever or Little River Duck Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then second one was the Catahoula.
Yes.
Louisiana Catahoula Leopard Dog. And people are like, are you just picking like dogs that like do hunting activities? Are you neglecting every other dog species or dog breed that there is? And I say to you,
no, we're not. Because
brace
if you
yourself. Because
this one is
different. And it's the unofficial Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs spirit animal.
Yes, it is.
It's the Chinese crested dog, everyone.
Oh,
and he's
so pretty.
Butt ugly. He and she is butt ugly.
Oh, they are terribly ugly dogs.
They are just gross.
Mm.
There is. All right, so contrary to the name Chinese crested dog, what I found out is that, you know, they're not actually sure whether they originated in China. I think that's just where they gained notoriety first, way back in like the 13th and 14th centuries and stuff like that. But it's debated that they said to have originated in Africa from the African hairless dog breeds.
See, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because they sort of look like a weird, sick hyena.
They look
terrible.
If you ever look at I'm looking at a picture
and I don't
right now.
care if you own one.
It looks like this looks like Barbie in dog form. Like, that's what it looks like. It looks like they've created a dog based on the Barbie series, and you could easily have one of these in one of your little Barbie sort of
Barbie catalog.
Yeah.
Look it up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It is like for the past 3 or 4 years or something. Don't quote me, but it's like won the ugliest dog in the world competition. This breed, because they look like a little piece of shit with hair on it.
Yeah,
and socks
with a mane.
With a mane, yeah. Oh, they look gross. Oh, it sends a shiver through my butt.
Look at this tiny little unicorn dog. What is going on there?
We need to keep that photo because we need to post it on the post it on the Instagram.
Save this one.
Yeah. So, where are we? Yeah. So
who knows, Josh? Who knows?
But it said that for many centuries, Chinese mariners sailed the seas with these dogs after they'd gone into port cities and sort of adopted them. And the Chinese crested dogs used to be really, really good at ratting and dispatching vermin. It just goes to show this dog, like all dogs, you take them back, they all had like a purpose and they all did something. Not just like have a Barbie haircut. They were like the Chinese sailors were like, wow, these are awesome for getting rid of the rats on board, and they had minimal hair so they didn't get fleas. Yeah. Well, they were hairless, most of them. You know, there are the two variants I have found out. There's the hairless and the powder puff.
Well, I think that one looks like the powder puff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The little unicorn one?
No, that's a hairless.
Oh,
yeah, because...
Oh, so powder puff has more...
Powder puff is like just... It's like got long, silky sort of hair.
Hang on, let's see. I'll find a powder puff here.
Yeah, but through the 1500s, dogs resembling modern-day Chinese cresteds appeared in Mexico and other parts of Central and South America because it was believed that the Chinese went there and then they traded these dogs with the merchants at the port cities. The breed also found in parts of Africa, but they reckon that's where it originated, and even other Asian countries by British and French explorers during the 1700s and 1800s. we're glossing over this. There's a heap of information about this dog, but like I'm just we're going.
That's a lot of history.
We're turbocharging it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back in China, the Chinese cherished this breed, and they kept breeding them because they were excellent ratting dogs. Now modern day breeds,
you'd never see someone using one of these
as a working dog because they've just been fucking ruined.
Oh.
50 cents, I don't care. Sometimes I just have to get it out. That's the thing. Like, why breed them for their looks? They look butt ugly. They look like shit. I don't care.
I think this is...
Now, it's like an interesting fact about the dog is that, in some societies, it's like the rich will have these dogs and, the poor will have little, mutts and stuff like this. In China at this time, the breed was kept by all members of society, not just the rich, like all the way from the poorest of poor to the rich.
Oh, that's very interesting, actually. And especially with how divided it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Chinese was said to believe that the Chinese crested dog had magical healing powers, and they used them as living heating pads.
Oh.
Heating pads?
Like lay on them.
Just, like your feet, I don't know. That's what it said, living heating pads. So there were two types bred back then, it was believed. The highly prized deer type, DEER type, not like deer is inexpensive. Didn't hunt deer or anything as far as I know, but they were this variant of them were tiny, they were fine boned and elegant, and these ones were the ones that you were used at the temple houses as guardians because they barked and raised the alarm.
So they were the sort of the show line version.
Yeah, the show line, even back then.
Yeah.
Little yappities. Mm. And then there was the cobby type, which were coarser, heavier, and they were used for hunting and as kitchen dogs. And I think what they mean, they didn't elaborate, but kitchen dogs may have been, they might have had rat problems in the kitchens, and the dogs would ensure that there wasn't, plague proportions of rats.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Yeah. It's also noted that throughout history, the Aztecs also considered this breed sacred. So they obviously found their way into the hands of the Aztecs when they were, brought to those port cities in Central and South America and stuff like that and traded on, and they found their way out there. And the Aztecs used them as companions and bed warmers in the colder months. And get this, because I've asterisked it, also as a source of food at special events in the Aztec calendar.
Mm. Yeah.
Insert vomit there. Yeah. And it was also found in several European texts from the 15th century that the Chinese crested dogs were referred to as Chinese hairless, Chinese edible dog.
Can you
believe that?
Maybe this kitchen thing...
Yeah, maybe I've got it all wrong.
Maybe the kitchen thing was there was ones that they ate.
Just put some noodles in there. Where's my little Chinese crested? There he is. Plop.
Oh,
it's going to taste. Go. Get some barbecue sauce.
said the Chinese people.
Oh, also known as the Chinese ship dog, Chinese royal hairless, and
this Chinese ship dog.
Ship,
not
not the Chinese shit. That's what it should be called. I really want to do an Asian accent, but I'm not allowed.
No, I've already told Josh he's not allowed to do.
And then confusingly, the African hairless terrier. All right. Now, we're going sort of more modern times, through the late 1800s. It began to be showed throughout the world. So Europe, England. Well, England is in Europe, and the Americas in the 1850s and 1860s. And then we fast forward about 100 years. Okay. The first Chinese crested dog, and this is relevant to Australia, the first Chinese crested dogs arrived in Australia. There was a daughter of a famous Chinese crested dog called Fu Manchu. He was quite famous in England.
Oh.
And his daughter was called Star-Round Yinga. and then a stud dog or
What's
a
a yinga?
I don't know, mate.
There's a star around it. Whatever that was.
I hear him laughing. I had a good old chunk of that. That's a rib breaker. Yeah, and the male that was brought over as well to breed with was called Star-Round Zorro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this was the foundation breeding pair for Chinese crested dogs in Australia, and it dated back to Mrs. and Mrs. Wynne Jackson imported these dogs, and her kennel name was Miniatura, Miniatura kennels, Miniatura kennels, and yeah, so the breed officially became recognised in Australia by Australian National Kennel Council in 1995.
Huh.
95.
Interesting.
So in summary, the breed is old as shit.
Yeah.
Goes back a long way. Used to be awesome at ratting, but has since been bred out of it in favour of aesthetics, and I don't know what the dealio is there because it, as I've said...
If you don't know what these things look like, you got to get onto your Google.
There's a picture of one that's like tongues hanging out. It looks like it's like every day of its life it's fought Mike Tyson, and it's just got traumatic brain injuries. It's terrible.
They're not a great looking dog, but I mean,
why would you?
This is the powder puff version.
Apparently, yeah. So it's like quite nice and silky. Like apparently they're like really loving and loyal. Like
I think I need to meet one of these guys.
Yeah. Like rare as hen's teeth. I haven't seen one in the flesh. I don't think ever. Don't think I've ever seen one.
Maybe not.
Flesh.
Yeah.
You know, but their characteristical traits are meant to be sort of like loyal, fun and full of energy sort of dogs, and you know, people love them. So I guess I shouldn't be so harsh on them. But I just look at it and it makes me feel violently ill. Like if I looked like that, I'd be like, put me down. If I would run. You'd have to hold me back from running under the garbage bins, like the garbage trucks.
Well, it's a good thing we don't, mask our opinions on this show.
That's one of the hardest things I do. Sometimes it just leaks out, man.
Sometimes I never know what Josh is thinking. Does Josh like this dog or does he not like it? It's hard to tell.
You know what? I'm being cynical of it, and I've never met one. But it's like, this to me, Steve, is just like one of those breeds. It's like, oh, let's see how fucking ridiculous we can make it look.
Yeah, well,
let's push that envelope. Keep pushing.
Well, considering they don't breed them for anything else anymore, that is exactly what they're doing. Because they don't use them for work unless was there anything you found that they still are using them at all, like for work anywhere?
No, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, so then potentially that is the only thing they're using it for is to make them look ridiculous.
Yeah,
so,
man. And that just, it
grinds your gears.
Me, man. It just grinds my gears.
Insert Family Man or Family Guy.
Not really grinds my gears. You, America.
It's pretty good, Josh.
No, it's not.
All right, sorry. Yeah, well.
Hey, Lois. Judy.
I've opened up a can of worms here, guys. Oh, that needs to be. We need to put that little clip of that a video clip it up on our Instagram page.
Yeah, we're not filming though. That's Murphy's Law, isn't it?
Damn it!
Yeah, I know.
Oh well, next time.
But yeah, so, if I meet a Chinese crested, then maybe my mind will be changed because they'll be really cool little dogs. But I just don't get the breeding for looks, man. I don't get it. How would you? That's playing God, man.
Well, it is.
That is.
Yeah.
It's
but I think that we're doing that with all.
Yeah,
breeding.
true that. I'm playing God because I pick two dogs and these dogs are super working dogs, so I want this dog to be a super working dog. So that's hypocritical in a way, but holy shit, would I want to look like that?
It is an interesting. I think we need to get some show line trainers on here and see what the I know we probably shouldn't because
no.
I
wasn't sighing at that. I was just thinking about the dishes that I have to do later.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because I think there's an interesting side of it where what about how do we fulfill the need of people that don't use dogs for work?
Yeah, because they get great enjoyment out of it, and dogs fill our lives with purpose and,
exactly.
and love and stuff. And I get that, man. I really do. I really get it.
Now, with what I think is the problem that we get now is that people are breeding for looks and forgetting about the things that actually matter to a person who has a dog in their home. So, maybe they don't want them to do work, but there's a lot of dogs now that have health issues and
just because a dog's got like a really like luscious Barbie doll mane, like that dog could be carrying like severe anxiety.
Yes, exactly.
That you're passing on down the line to something else.
And I think
just because it's got sweet locks,
right? And I think that's the problem.
Like Axl Rose,
exactly like Axl Rose. But I think that's the problem that we get in the show line thing is people are picking their dogs based on their looks, and so the breeders are breeding for that, right? And now we're losing out on because not everybody wants a dog like Arrow, who's gonna just if you don't do a million things with him, he just obliterates your yard and your house, I get that. You know what I mean?
I absolutely do.
But there's certainly a side of it where the people are the breeders are doing the wrong thing for those show lines as well. So, for example, you look at the show line German Shepherds.
I don't want to.
I think that shouldn't exist.
Yep.
Right. So if there is a specific job that those dogs were bred for and are continuing to do, maybe don't have a show line version of that dog that is just being destroyed, and create a new breed that's good for households.
Yeah.
Have breeds that are good for households. Don't try and change the breeds.
Maybe that's what we should do. And then like in 200 years, people will be doing this and they'll be talking about us on Breed of the Week.
Yeah.
The Australian household dog.
Yeah.
And by then they'll be talking like they when I was talking in the intro. They'll be like, Josh and Big Kahuna created the Australian household dog.
Yeah, potentially.
Look at him go. Frisbee.
He does nothing really at all.
Look at him unstuck that dishwasher. You get him, Gonzo.
Because I do think there's a real problem there because now people go out and they don't know what to get. If they go to there's no guidelines with breeders. So people, they want a dog and then there's no good information about where to go to get them. Yeah. And then if you go to a good breeder that breeds really good quality dogs, there's so few of them that people can't, they can't even get dogs from them. They're on waiting lists for years to get a dog, which is, there's a problem there. And that's why we have the issues,
That's right. We have gone off on a tangent. Chinese crested dog, you have opened up a can of wiggly worms. And you're ugly.
And you're ugly.
But you're the unofficial mascot of Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs. So we can't begrudge you too much. Anyways, we got the mailbag.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
We got the mailbag.
Hey, we already have a jingle for this. Thank you. So stop it.
We do.
Yeah.
And here it is.
It's question time for Big Kahuna. Like why does little Fluffy always shit on my doona? Why she bite my girlfriend when I'm trying to spoon her? And all these questions and more on Big Kahuna's mailbag.
Ogly dokily.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Are you ready for this? We got 3, Kahuna.
I'm always ready for this.
I know. I shouldn't ask that question. That's terribly disrespectful to the Kahuna. All right. Here we go. Let me just reach into that big old sack of mail.
Oh, shit. Josh, get out of the bag. Get out of the bag.
That's a Rolex watch.
Oh.
That's a half-eaten ham sandwich.
Mm.
Here we go. All right, you ready?
Yep. There we go.
This one says, "Hi Kahuna, I'm looking at buying my first dog. I haven't owned a dog before, but I'm not sure what breed would be suitable for my lifestyle and living situation." This is a good question already. "I am a social worker for youths and have to travel into the CBD on a daily basis. I would like to integrate my dog into work at some point. I live in a townhouse with my sister, and she's not huge on the idea of living covered in dog hair. What's a breed that pops into your head that would be suitable and easy to manage for me?" Cheryl from West Beach in Adelaide, South Australia.
Okay. So it starts out as a simple question, and then it gets difficult because when you say what's a good breed that's suitable for me, that is not an easy question to answer. There are tools out there that you can use to help you decide these things. But if the very first thing is you need to have a dog that doesn't shed. So
yeah, that seems like the starting block, because if you're going to be living with your sister and she doesn't, you can get dogs that won't shed at all.
Mm-hmm. Like the poodle type breeds and stuff like that.
Yeah. Actually, Hans' mum's got two spoodles.
Oh yes,
they don't shed at all.
Yeah. Yeah, there is other upkeep that you have to do with them. So you have to take them. They have to go to grooming, and because if they don't lose their fur, then it gets matted. And
but Cheryl, you sound like a reasonable sort of lady. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that you'll do that for your dog if you want to integrate it into work.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing that you're going to take good care of him or her.
Yeah. Now, what I would recommend is going. There's probably about 1 million of these questionnaires that you can do online, and
I'm familiar.
Yeah. And they're really good. I've done them a couple of times just to see if they are useful. Mm-hmm. And you go on and you fill out, it's just what breed should I get? Those sort of things in Google. And you fill those out, and it'll tell you breeds that match. It's like an online dating for dogs, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you go on there, and it'll give you a list of breeds. Then from that point, that is not where you make your decision. Then you research. Yeah. So from there, you have to research and make sure that it's going to actually fit with what you want. And once you work that out, then you can start researching breeders. Yep. This is just not a small process at all. And I think too many people make it a small process. It's not, I want a dog, I'm going to go get one. You find out which one is going to be suitable. Then you have to research breeders and make sure that you're getting a dog from a good quality breeder and that you're getting the dog that you actually want. And then you go about going ahead and getting one. So if that seems like too much work for you, just take this idea of getting a dog and just put it in your pocket.
And just put it in your pocket or boot it down the street.
Yeah, that's right.
But Cheryl, you sound like you've thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to integrate the dog into work and stuff. And, I've taken a liking to Cheryl.
Yeah,
she might be in line to win the antique spatula set for best question today.
Don't you just give that away.
I'm not giving it away. They have to earn it. And Cheryl, well, you are the only person with a question at the moment. So you're leading. All right. But yeah, hopefully that covered off on it for you, Shez. All right. Jen from Parramatta says, "Hi, Kahuna. I've just bought a puppy from a breeder in Queensland. It's a beagle, and I'm super excited to meet my future new best friend. I'm a little worried about him having to make the trip on the plane. Can you ease my anxiety a little? Will he be all right?"
Well, okay, so if your breeder knows that this is happening, this is the key point to this is your breeder needs to do a few things here before this happens.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this isn't the breeder's first rodeo.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, if you're going to a good breeder, they should be doing these things anyways. But certainly, some crate training should be in order. Mm-hmm. The puppy should be pretty calm and relaxed in a crate and have no dramas there. And then, also some environmental stimulation stuff where noise and different strange movements and things like that inside of a crate would be very, very useful in order to get the puppy to be okay when it does make the trip. But I mean, for the most part, it's a quick experience that's not going to.
It's not going to. Yeah, it won't negatively affect the dog for the rest of its life unless the guy that hijacked that plane in Seattle is driving it.
That's right. Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about, Steve?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was awesome. You don't know who I'm talking. Yeah, if he hijacks the plane and your dog's on that plane, probably not going to be great. But as far as I know, unfortunately, he died. So
so it won't be him.
It won't be him again.
Yeah.
But in saying that, you and I have dropped dogs off to Jet Pets.
Absolutely.
And then we've got updates a day later from when they've, after the day after they've had the flight, and they're full of jelly beans.
Yeah, and
just having a great time.
That's right. And if you do certain things, so if you do find there is a problem afterwards, and they are a little bit nervous about certain situations, well, then you just counter condition those things.
Yep.
And especially if it's like getting in the car and those types of movement things.
One thing I will speak about with beagles and any of the sort of hound breeds, they don't ride in vehicles very well. So you might have a little bit of puppy vomit to clean up. You put them, like Alex talks about. Ooh, Alex is on the next episode.
Oh,
yeah,
is he?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, come on!
I didn't tell you.
No, I didn't know he was going.
Sorry, we'll talk about it at the end.
Boy.
But Jen, back to the thing. Yeah, so the beagles aren't renowned for being very good travelers in cars and things where they get motion sick because they have a little spew, and it's hard to condition them to it. They just keep doing it. So you might have a little bit of vomit to clean up at the end. But overall, I think your little beagle, and I'm going to suggest a name for him here, Henry.
Oh.
Little Henry Beagle.
Oh, I like that.
He's going to have a great time with you.
Absolutely. So don't stress.
I'm jealous of Henry the Beagle. Last question.
Get it out of that there.
Shit.
All right, got it.
All right. Big Kahuna. I want to teach my dog the skateboard trick. What's the best way to kickstart this? Harry and Inogra. Inogra.
Was that like a play on was that a kickstart this?
Kickstart.
Oh god. Was that supposed to be a joke?
Just a big shout out to Big H and Inogra. My last posting in the army was in Inogra.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So
Inogra's a nice area.
I don't want to upset anybody.
Big H, you must have a nice skateboard if you live in Inogra.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nice area, is it?
It's a nice area. Heaps of nice eating spots around it and stuff.
Inogra.
I used to get so fat, much fatter than I am now. But yeah, so what's the skateboard trick? Is that like the dog? We're just going to go with dog riding a skateboard. I guess that's what he means.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you reckon that's what he means?
Unless he wants to do a kickflip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's the best way to kickstart? Oh,
I don't know. But if you're trying to get this to happen, the riding a skateboard in particular, I would be just first teaching the dog to go to a particular place and stand on it.
Yep.
Without any movement of anything whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
You can start adding the movement in down the track, but just teach your dog to go and stand on a piece of wood, or even a skateboard with no wheels on it.
Yeah.
And then
see if you can take the trucks and the wheels off the skateboard.
Yeah.
And get the dog to stand on that. Yeah, it's baby steps. This is just a baby step thing, man. It's going to take patience.
And if you don't have patience, don't do it. But if you can take it and break it down into lots of tiny little steps, then you'll be able to succeed with this pretty easily.
Yep.
You basically just reward the dog, give them a treat or something like that every time they get on the skateboard. And if in the beginning you need to lure them onto it, then go for that. But
so plenty of positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement, yes. Yeah. Yes, that's right. And so get them doing that, and then slowly start adding more to it and putting it in more complex situations, and then eventually put wheels on it.
When you say complex situations for Big H, because you and I both know what that means. So you might let's just spitball a game plan. So once he's comfortable and he's reliably going over to the skateboard without trucks or wheels and he's standing on it, then you put the trucks and wheels on the skateboard, but you'd put 2 bricks at either end of the wheels, either ends of the skateboard, so the skateboard cannot move.
Yeah, so that's more complex than it was originally.
Yeah, so more complex. You've raised the skateboard off the ground, but it can't move, so you're not going to freak the dog out. Okay, and then so once that's reliable and he's doing that happily, then maybe we start to move just a little teensy bit real slow.
And so this is a separate thing to train to even going and getting on the skateboard. Have him on the skateboard and then start moving it. Don't let it move when he gets on it.
Don't let it move when he gets on it. Yeah, nice point.
So
nice
train him separately to be on a moving skateboard. And get that better and better, and so you can pull him around and he'll just stand on it, no problem.
Yeah.
And then once you get that going really well, and he goes on it himself really well, then you mix the two together and you start getting him to jump on it and get it to move.
Yep. And eventually, give it enough time and effort, like that's what will happen. He'll be dropping into half pipes,
Oh yeah,
doing pop shove-its and all sorts of
pop shove-it.
Weird Tony Hawk stuff.
Now, if you're having trouble with trying to get this to happen, because it's very difficult to just talk about something and then go and do it. It's a very visual process. Get on YouTube.
Yeah, get on YouTube.
YouTube's got all sorts of stuff about this. There's about 2 million dogs out there doing it. So get on there and have a look at how people have trained it on that. And it'll be something similar to what we just spoke about, but it'll be, maybe a little variance on that, or they'll have a little sneaky tip in there that might help that we didn't cover.
Let us know how you go.
Yeah,
keep in touch.
Back to us, please. And if you send us a video of your dog on a skateboard, meet Trey.
Oh, meet Trey and the antique spatula collection.
Are we going to take it away from?
No, well, she. I don't know. Yeah, Cheryl definitely wins. Cheryl,
we're not taking her antique spatula.
No, Cheryl, you are the new proud owner of the Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs antique spatula collection.
Does that mean we have to go to not talking person spatula?
Yeah. All right. Yes. So send us your address where they're going to post it to, and you will have some spatulas. You'll never have to buy one again.
Never.
One is from the 1920s. It's still got food on it.
Yeah.
What's on for the rest of your week?
Whose week?
Yours.
Oh, my week.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking to the listeners.
Yeah, well, they can yell at their phones or whatever.
Nah, the rest of my week, I'm busy. Busy guy.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, so I got a lot
busy little bee. What movie is that off?
Oh, I don't even know if you're just saying things from a movie.
Someone out there will know.
Yeah, but not me.
Comment at Dog Ugly Dudes Talking Dogs Instagram or Facebook. Episode 3, movie quotes. If you get it, it's going to be worth your while. I just want to say it now.
Don't you say it.
I'm going to tell you straight after we stop recording.
Okay.
All
right.
Are you not entertained?
Is it from that? Have you just given me you gave me the clue. Now everybody's going to know that one.
All right, nobody gets a prize. It's from Gladiator.
You all lose.
You all have to wait till next week to get another movie quote.
And then Josh will tell you anyways, and then go out the window.
No one's ever going to get a prize because I can't keep it contained inside my little ribcage.
No, he can't. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you're busy this week?
Pretty well. Yeah. I got all sorts of clients on at the moment. Yeah, it's crazy stuff going on.
Very good. Got heaps of Zumba coming up.
If you'll bring me.
Well, give me the milk, you dickhead.
Oh, so many things. People are going to have more questions about this after this episode, but that's okay.
Send them in.
We're
both more than happy to field your questions, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate people and have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Trying to educate people, have fun doing it. So I want everybody to have a great week. Next episode, we've got a guest coming on.
Well, you've already told us that Alex is coming. Well, me.
Yeah.
You told me Alex is coming on next week.
He is.
I don't know about this.
You don't know what?
If he's actually coming on.
He's coming. If he doesn't,
I'm going to try to believe.
I'm going to set fire to his beard.
Jesus.
Nah, he's a giant of a man. I would never be able to reach up that high. But I would try. But so next week we talk to a very special friend of ours.
Yeah, very cool dude.
Oh, very cool. Very knowledgeable man.
Yeah, and he's
I'm pumped for it, man.
He's right into the dogs. He's been doing it for a long, long time. So lots to look forward to with talking to him.
Yeah. So
all right.
He actually sits on the committee of the Australasian Conservation Dog Network.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh. It's things.
So if
learn
you're
something new
excited
every day,
about
don't
that,
you?
yeah, every day's a school day. If you're excited about that, tighten your britches for next week. Oh, you know what I'm excited for?
What?
The outro of the song.
What is this outro today?
It is the exact song that we started with.
Oh, yes, of course.
I think I might, just freestyle some ads in an old time, like 1940s voiceover here.
We'll get stuck into it then.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, get yourselves a Larry Jackson's hair comb and wax combo. Make sure you're always slick for the date. Don't wait. You've got the blues? Get yourself a pair of brand new leather floor shine shoes.
Oh, how is this stuff in your head?
Oh, no. And that's the end of Dog Ugly News Talking Dogs. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.